Fire, baby. Fire, baby.
It's the Wind Down Podcast on WNB Radio. Let's go. Nice combo. Good wine. It's the definition of a good time. Get your wine glass ready. Pour some wine. Relax. And just listen. Yes. Yo, we got new mics.
I had a flex. I knew you were going to do that. It was a flex.
Can you hear us?
We got new mics. You can hear me clearly. What's going on? Y'all listen to the Wind Down Podcast Show with WNB Radio. I am your host, B. Carter, with my co-host, Big Man Haywood.
Hey.
What's up?
And my producer extraordinaire, FG, on the side. Mike, what's going on, peoples?
What's up, buddy?
How was your week, peoples? How was your week?
Pass.
I looked at it.
Pass.
It's a lot.
It's a good week. I mean, kind of, just a normal, run of the mill kind of week. Yeah. It's good, but good. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah. Me, I had a good week, but I don't know, man. I had like a tension headache all weekend, man.
Oh, could be a stress headache.
Actually, it went away now. I don't know what it was, but it went away early this afternoon. Right in the top of the head.
Mm-hmm.
It was hurting.
Did you look up what that means?
No,
headaches mean things, right? So if you look, depending on where on your where on your head it was.
Yeah. It was right on top of my head, and obviously a little bit on the back of my neck. I was hurting too.
The location of your head.
I don't know if it was like going the way I was sleeping. I think I was maybe some tension, stress going.
Top of your head.
Yeah.
Is a tension headache.
Yeah.
Severe hypertension. Other possible causes. Ooh, no, that's too scary. I'm not gonna say that. No, top of your head. It says it's a tension headache. You should probably maybe get. How often do you get those?
Not often. No, that was like real.
No.
Why? If you get it often, what's the deal?
It says that
consult your local physician.
Yeah.
Yo, what?
Could be an aneurysm or bleeding.
See, that's what I'm scared of.
But next topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, yo, is this an aneurysm?
Hemorrhagic stroke or something.
Yeah.
You gotta just, Yeah. Some of the pressure. Believe me, you would have known if it was, you would have been out of it if it was an aneurysm.
Yeah. I was like, because my dad got an aneurysm.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually, I think he passed away. He would end up with a stroke, but he first had an aneurysm that actually paralyzed him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think it was the left side of his body.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So I was thinking like aneurysm. I was like,
yeah.
But then it went away.
But I think that's like, where was it? It was like on the top of your head or like headband
literally
area?
Literally on top of the head.
I'm getting one just thinking about it. Speaking of health, I got to get it together.
What's the matter?
So that could be a spinal headache, actually, now that you talk about it.
Yeah, I think it's because of the way I was sleeping and maybe my neck.
It looks like it's because the one that's considered top of the head, the tension one is actually top of the head, like up here. Top of the head. So like up here where you're talking, it's like a spinal. It says a spinal headache.
Oh, okay. It got to be the way I'm sleeping.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be, because there's another one that says,
that crazy
what's
stuff
that
I'm
say?
doing in the bedroom, you know what I'm saying?
Medication overuse. You take blood pressure medication,
right?
right?
I take blood pressure medication.
She just moved on.
Yeah, maybe it's the Viagra, yo.
Ladies.
trying to keep my 20s, yo. That's
Stop it.
Don't do it.
Stop it.
Do it.
I got a little my doses of my Viagra. I talked to my doctor.
Don't do it.
Love an erection after longer than 2 hours phone a friend.
For real. That phone a friend come over and help me out. Shoot. All right, we got a good show today. We have a good show.
Clutching my pearls. This conversation is not for Sunday.
we all need Jesus. We got a good show. I want to talk about this Chris Rock Netflix special that's coming on. came on already.
Yeah.
A lot of people's talking about it. And obviously, they're waiting on Chris Rock's rebuttal to what we call the slap.
Yo,
Slapgate.
Can we? I gotta give him credit for holding it in.
Yeah.
It's long. How could you hold in your response?
Well,
Because he's gonna make money off of that shit.
Yeah.
It's that, but also, I mean, you gotta give people the opportunity to digest it.
Yeah.
Give the media the opportunity to let it, you know what I mean, kind of fizzle out the way it needs to, but also allow other people the opportunity to just really dig deeper into meaning and allow it grace and everything like that. And what he's just beautiful, because I think for him to be able to do his show, because his show was typical Chris Rock.
Oh yeah.
You know, it was really
that
he's
motherfucker.
He's a straight up stand up comedian, but he is such a classy professional at it that it's just like, I don't care if Will Smith got pissed about anything he said, because he's a comedian. Yeah, he's a comedian.
We're gonna talk about it later, but he didn't go on Will Smith that much.
He didn't.
He went in at Jada. He went hard at Jada. We're gonna play some clips at Jada. I don't even think that he's really mad at Will, because I think he's mad at Will, but I think he says, "Oh, I know why you did it, even though it was wrong."
Well, I think when he stuck. Okay, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. We'll talk about it. Well, I was going to talk about this. If anybody's seen this clip on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, there's this guy that's literally talking about he has 7 baby mamas. And he's saying, I told all my 7 baby mamas that I didn't want to have kids. Why are they going to have these kids? You know, and I want to play the clip, and I want to talk about this ignorant type of thinking. It's hilarious. Anyway, then I want to talk about Sierra. Sierra. She's making songs for the single ladies. You know what I'm saying?
Married.
Be strong, single ladies, while she's married, living her best life. I don't know. So is she trying to exploit you all? I don't know.
Was Beyonce trying to exploit us?
Well, that's what we'll talk about. You that's a point there.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
And then we're gonna talk about Joe Biden's
appointee
for women.
Nominating her as Woman of the Year. Yeah.
Joe Biden's nomination of Woman of the Year, who's not actually a biological woman, which is a slap in the face to women, in my opinion. I just feel like it should be a woman for Woman of the Year. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's right.
Right.
So what? You know what? I mean, no offense to anybody, but there are far too many biologically born women that have been through some shit, that have persevered through some shit, that have overcame some shit, that have worked their way up to a specific status to where they should be recognized, than to go ahead and recognize a biological man and give them that title. I think that is the most misogynistic type of shit
we'll get
that you should ever do.
Right. All right.
Pisses me off.
And then what I want, before we get into the first song, I want to talk about B.I.G. He actually passed away last night, obviously. Shout out to Sean Medina. He had his annual Biggie brunch. B.I.G. passed away March 9th. I want to share a story about a time when he passed away that's locally connected. A friend of ours here was here, and we had another friend that was actually living in California. And obviously the time zones are different, right? So it's late out here, like we're 3 hours ahead. So I think it was like 3 a.m. here and like 12 midnight there. A friend of ours who we all know called and another friend here, and they said, yo, they got him. Now we didn't get the news here yet because it just happened. He was literally down the street from where it happened. And they were like, yo, they got Biggie, man. You're going to hear about him in the news when you wake up. And sure enough, when he woke up, it was all over the news that Biggie passed. I feel like I think it's funny because Biggie was only 25 years old when he passed away,
which is crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And you really think about when him and Tupac, how much influence they had at that younger age. Actually, I think Biggie was 23 when he passed away. Pac was 25. So Biggie was even younger.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And to have that influence, and I think that the person that killed these two individuals robbed us of a lot of good music and the potential of them being leaders. I think I'm more of a Biggie fan than a Pac fan. And I think when you follow Biggie, I think he was just starting to get into his evolution of becoming more of a mature adult. You can hear it in his music, versus from his first album to his second album. I mean, what is your thoughts on Biggie?
I kind of missed the whole era, but
yes.
I mean, of course, I was around for it. I remember both of them murders. But I always feel like, especially with both of them, you almost make them like a martyr, like, because who knows where their lives would have gone and how things would have gone. But you kind of like freeze these people in time. You know, I mean, what was it, almost 30 years ago, I guess.
Yeah, it was 92 that he passed away.
I think so.
Yeah, 92. So you're looking at around 30 years.
Wow,
how fast that goes.
Yeah, but I mean, the influence on rap and hip hop is undeniable.
Yeah,
you can't deny it. You know? On music.
Yes. Yeah. I think the innovation between the two of those artists. First of all, they were poets first.
No doubt.
They were
to the fullest.
They were definite poets. And when you listen to early Biggie stuff, you hear a lot of stuff that you're just like, bars.
Yeah,
okay.
Right.
And you're just like, oh my God. And the same thing with Pac. Like, I think a lot of the thing is with Pac is that you almost, it's because he was raised by a Muslim mother. And he's like, he has this empathetic view for women. So you hear him talk a lot about that.
Yeah, I like
early
that.
on. You hear him talk a lot about that early on. But he also is empathetic to his own people. And he's like, you really going to go ahead and let all this shit dictate what we're doing and not understand that we have to continue to move in a certain way? So you got that education with him, but you get that part that he wasn't conforming to what the media at the time wanted him to. And even the industry wanted him to conform.
Yeah.
So I just think it's dope. But Biggie, you get East Coast with Biggie. And so, that's what resonates with us a lot, because we're over here. But, it's sad.
Yeah, I always say, really, like, Pac is more influential, but I think Biggie's a better lyricist as far as making music wise. Biggie's that type where it's like, what did he say? Let me play that over again. How that wordplay goes and everything like that. I think if Biggie, as he got older and got more life experiences, I think he would have been how he perceived as Jay-Z. Now, would Jay-Z be Jay-Z if these guys were alive, if Biggie was alive? I don't know.
You never know, right? I was thinking about that. I think about that even with Beyonce and Aaliyah.
Yeah.
That kind of.
I never thought about that. Yeah.
But I see Tupac as like, he was an artist, in a way. Like, he was an actor. Like, he went to acting. He went to an art school. Like it was just a different kind of like.
Yeah.
Who knows where he would have been?
Come on.
Right. Like.
You can only imagine.
Biggie was 1997.
Oh, 97.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Now, it's almost like, because I think Pac was very intelligent, but he got caught up in all the hype, the hoopla, and in the middle of that. And I feel like you see these younger rappers, like we just talked about John Morant and what happened to him. Like, you're trying to be this person. Like, you don't need to be.
Right.
You're getting caught up in the hype and the street power, but you need to be that. And it needs to be hit in the butt so you don't end up like a Pac. You don't end up like a Biggie. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes of keeping it real and all that stuff. When y'all reach a certain point, you just got to leave that alone, even though that's how you got there.
It's interesting because now we're talking about it. You think Jay-Z's? I bet if you look at Jay-Z's music, it shifted after.
Yeah, I like Jay-Z second half versus the first half. I like when he talks about intelligence and what he's
Mhm.
learned, and I think that's where Biggie was headed. If you listen to the
Yeah.
first album to the second, he was starting to transition
Yeah.
that way
Yeah.
to a point where it's going to be more intellect.
I
He's
bet
like,
a lot of them did because it's like nobody wants to get shot up.
yeah, nobody wants to live in the hood and all that
off a
stuff.
rap game.
Yeah,
like,
no.
you know,
Yeah, I mean, I think they
Rap
were.
beef.
I think they were victims of the industry.
Yeah.
You know, because I think there was a lot of shit going down. You know, industry wise, that they got caught in the crossfire with, and they, you know, powers that be in the industry played off of it wholeheartedly. You know what I mean? And then not to mention the gang affiliations and stuff like that. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
you know, it just sucks
a lot.
that it's a lot. It's a lot of moving parts. But when you talk about like, you know, they were in processes of redefining who they were and, you know, leaving their mark. It's unfortunate. You know, this is why you gotta for me, this is why you always gotta be the best you can be
Mm.
every step of the way. You gotta wake up every morning. This is my new day. It's time for me to how could I be better than I was yesterday?
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, how can you be better a minute ago?
Yeah.
Right.
Have that mindset.
Right.
You know, it's because it's life is a lesson. That's how I look at it. You learn a lesson in life. So you're gonna make mistakes throughout your life, and you just gotta learn from those to be better the following week or the following day or the following minute. Too bad that, you know, Biggie didn't get a chance to be better because I think he wanted to be better, but he got caught up in that bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily like, you know, he was minding his business, but he got caught up in the BS. That's the guy that I'm talking about, Jeffrey Correa. He's the one that made the call. He made the
Get
call.
outta here.
Yeah, he's the one that made it. He was living in
because he was
California.
at school, right?
He was living in California. He was at school in California. He's the one that made the call when Biggie died. He was like, he called Sharif, and she told Sharif, "Yo, man, they got Biggie."
Wow.
Next day, I see Sharif, and Sharif tells me, and he tells me, "Yo, you know, I'm gonna make Biggie in heaven."
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
he only had 2 albums. He's considered one of the greatest.
Crazy,
You
right?
know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, if not the greatest, and it's true. So that tells you how
Yeah.
great he is. So what we're gonna do before we get into the Chris Scott special, we're gonna play a little Biggie. See, Jeff Correa, I was out there that night Biggie died. Yeah, man, we just talking about earlier how you was out there, and you I think I want to say you called Sharik that night when it happened, and
Wow.
and it's crazy. It's like, yo, man, they got him. I don't know if I was over Sharik's house at the time or when he called, but I just know it was around that time. Oh, he was literally talking to Method Man. That's how he found out. Him and Marcus Chummy.
Wow.
He was there. Were you at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles? I think he was Roscoe and Chicken and Waffles, and he saw Method Man walk in, and Method Man wasn't all there. And I think Marcus Chummy went up to him and tried to go, "Yo, man, they got my man." So he got the information from Method Man.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So we're gonna play a Biggie song, you know, in remembrance of him. And I think this is only the best song you could play. This song is "Missing You" from Notorious B.I.G. You listen to the Wind Down Podcast on WNB1 Radio. We'll be right back after this. Yes. We are back. You're listening to Wind Down Podcast of WNB1 Radio. That was Missing You from Notorious B.I.G.
Yo, where's 112?
112, yeah.
Where's 112? Everybody else is making a comeback, doing stuff.
I here and there.
Are they doing something?
I know in 2002, 2003, 112 was at Puffer Bellies.
Puffer Bellies?
Yeah, my Tommen crew knows all about that. We rode like 6 cars deep that night to go check out 112 at Puffer Bellies. That was such a weird night.
Yeah,
we ended up at some house party.
Yeah.
I don't, but wherever Larissa and Yolanda probably remember. We ended up at some house party. It was wrecked. We don't know how. We don't know whose house it was. It was wrecked. We were like, how the hell did we get here? Then we had one girlfriend that believed. She said she was one dude from the band was telling her, "Oh, come party. We're gonna have a party at the hotel." Blah blah blah.
Yeah, right.
She was like, "What room?" He said 112. She was so drunk. She was like, "We gotta go. They said it. They said it." We were like, "Okay, fine. We're gonna drive. We'll go and see. You let us know." We get to the hotel. We're like, "All right, go ahead. Since you don't want to shut up," she walked in. She asked everyone. We don't even have a room 112 yet. Good time, man. You do some dumb shit when you're young. We were like, "Girl,
oh man,
you don't get out of here."
All right, let's get into this Chris Rock special.
So it's crazy, man. Yeah, but she was so drunk, and then she went. You know when you got a friend that's so drunk they won't shut up about it. So okay, fine. So we're gonna go. So we're gonna go then. Yeah. Yeah, that's how it was. We were like, okay, fine, we gotta shut her up. Let's just go. Right. We'll walk in with her and watch it. They said, sorry, we don't have a room 112 here. I said, no kidding, bitch. No kidding. We tried to tell you.
Run 12 with the players.
Right. So crazy, man.
Oh man, yo, that's funny. That's. Yes, you went for 112.
Oh my god.
Okay. Let's get into this Chris Rock special. It was very, very interesting. I think everybody was excited to watch this. He actually did it live on Netflix on Saturday night. Yeah. Be More. And what's that?
I said Be More. They used to work in Baltimore.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, so
Rough City.
What's that?
Rough City.
Have you been to Baltimore?
I've never been to
Okay,
it's gotten better.
I don't know about all that. Let me tell you how wrecked Baltimore is. So when you go, we had to unfortunately one of our cousins passed away and we had to clean out her apartment. She was in Baltimore, like downtown Baltimore, which was wrecked because when you're driving there, you're driving in, and at first of all, you're driving in, you're like, oh, okay. Then you're like, oh, this is where they shot the wire?
Right.
Oh,
almost immediately. Right. And then you turn down and you're just like, this is some fucked up shit. It almost looks like, okay, if you're driving, you say you turn down Union Street one day. Shit is just boarded up. From the top, from the church.
Royal Homes just boarded
up. Just boarded up. Every single building boarded up, shot up, glass broken, everything like that. It is crazy. So you drive that for about a block or 2 blocks. Then maybe like half a block after then 2 blocks is when you see like a museum.
Right. No,
That's like thriving. And then you see like a couple little like restaurants around it. And then you see like she lived like in an assisted living place. And then the hospital is like four blocks down and stuff like that. But it's just like, it's weird, man. Wow. It's crazy.
I went down there in 2005, and they were in the middle of redoing the Inner Harbor. Mm-hmm. But it was like, you went from the Inner Harbor where the museum and all the stuff, Phillips Crab House, and then like 2 blocks over was like, just don't go there. But it's still rough. I mean, I worked at a TV station there, and there were like 300 something murders that one year. That was it. Yeah.
Baltimore is tough, but I like to get back to Chris Rock when he opens up and he's like, "Man, I do my homework at the places where I do a show."
Oh yeah.
He was like,
places I don't
tell places where I tell me places I don't need to go, and then tell me where the place where they sell crack cocaine, so then I further know where I do not need to be. Right. So it was funny.
I think a lot of people were excited for one reason only to see this special was his response to Will Smith and the quote unquote the slap on Oscar night last year. I don't think there's no coincidence that he actually, I think the Oscars are on today, I want to think.
Yeah, they are
So
tonight.
I think that it's no coincidence that
he released his show.
He released his show today. I mean, this past weekend when the Oscar weekend. So I want to play a couple of clips of that moment when he was talking about. Will
He
Smith.
dropped it a couple times before he actually.
This rap's response to Will Smith's selective outrage.
You've never seen me do a movie with my shirt off. Will Smith played Muhammad Ali in the movie. You think I auditioned for that part? He played Muhammad Ali. I played Pookie in New Jack City. Will Smith practices selective outrage. Because everybody knows what the fuck happened. Everybody that really knows I had nothing to do with that shit. Right. I didn't have any entanglements.
Right.
His wife was fucking her son's friend. Okay? Now, I normally would not talk about this shit. But for some reason, these niggas put that shit on the internet. Right. Everybody in here has been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us.
I saw this part.
It's that part.
Hey, I was sucking somebody else's dick. How did that make you feel? She hurt him way more than he hurt me. Okay?
Here's Chris.
Wow.
I'm telling you, and I'm so glad that he calls them out because I remember when Jada was calling to boycott the Oscars and everything like that. And I remember being so pissed. I can remember this. I said, where was she 6 months ago when we were outraged about minorities or black and brown people not being recognized and everything like that? Where was she then? She and her husband kept their mouth shut. Now you realize that he's not nominated for anything, and now you want to hop on the bandwagon after the fact. Don't try to come now.
Yeah.
Don't try to join it now. And I was I was tight about it. I remember telling you, I was like, you gotta calm down. I was like, I'm pissed. I'm sick and tired of them. How the hell you gonna sleep with your son's friend?
Yeah, see, there's that moral aspect of it, man.
And then August Alsina is now he's gay. Moral. You know that, right?
Is he?
Yeah.
I heard he's getting like kicked off of different tours because he's just having issues with the artists on tours and things like that. I think he got in a fight with Tory Lanez, and Tory Lanez is a different story, but I mean, I think it was another tour he actually got kicked off of because of fighting and stuff.
Don't know one song of that young man.
Tory Lanez?
No,
never heard of
never. Not Tory Lanez.
He actually has good music. I'm gonna lie.
August Alsina, neither one.
Right.
I like that entanglement.
Just like ASAP Rocky, I don't know any.
He made an entanglement song.
He made an entanglement song.
Oh, okay.
You better get that money, young man.
Yeah, he right after that interview too.
Yeah.
So I was listening to something else and they mentioned there was another show that mentioned. Thank God Chris didn't fight back because then it would have been two black men fighting on national, global TV.
He handled it
globally.
Very professionally. I got to admit, he did.
Yeah. Well, he said
if they were smart, they would make G.I. Jane too.
I don't see why not. I thought that was a valid thing.
I mean, I thought that was.
Nobody knew she had alopecia. Shut up, Jada. Yeah.
Right.
Nobody knew. You know.
But you know something? If G.I. Jane 2 with Jada, that would have been good.
Dope.
That would
have been. That was an alley-oop.
Yeah, that was an alley-oop.
They're making it. You know they're making it right now.
Wait, who said? Fool! I saw that reality show. I know it's just
what.
Which one?
I saw that. He said Dennis Rodman was gonna beat up August on that celebrity show. I saw that. Yeah, I seen that show.
Was it Big Brother or something?
No, it was like
Tamar Braxton was on it.
Tamar Braxton was on it. Yeah. Dennis Rodman was a hot mess. Remember, he got kicked out of the house.
But he owns his shit, though. That's why I like Dennis Rodman. He goes crazy. Right. Hey, I'm gonna play another clip of the thing.
And a lot of people go, Chris, how come you didn't do nothing back? How come you didn't do nothing back that night?
Oh, that's the clip.
Because I got parents. Right. That's why. Because I was raised. Okay? I got parents.
So basically, he was talking about why he didn't hit back, and he had parents, and he ended it. And this is how he ended his show. So when he said, "I got parents," he always told me, "Never fight in front of white people."
White people, yeah.
So, but I took a lot from that show. I mean, his stand up. I like the one he was talking about his daughter trying to teach her a lesson now in school, where she was going to a private school. I guess something happened during he goes. My daughter was going on a field trip to, I think it was Australia, He goes, when I was in school, I went to field
Right.
trip to the Bronx Zoo.
Right.
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 He's like, what do these kids have now? And I guess something happened on the trip, and they got suspended from school. He said he went to his daughter because and she wasn't worried about getting suspended. Oh, we'll be back. And he didn't like that mindset, so he actually went to the dean of school and said, "Listen, I need you to expel my daughter,
Yeah.
to teach her a lesson." And everybody ended up getting expelled. Little do they know that I was the reason why, because I requested it.
Mhm.
And it's funny thing, it happened before, and he mentioned it on a special. Well, they do now.
Wow.
Mhm.
Because he won and goes, but now my daughter is, I think she was like practicing med school, something in Europe, and he was telling how his life is, where my mother, she lives a life where she can take a plane to go have coffee with my daughter in Europe.
Mhm.
That's a life. And I forgot what the story he was saying, where she came from, where like, if you wanted to get your teeth done, or you want to go to the dentist, it was against the law for black people to go to the dentist, so you had to go to the veterinarian.
That's crazy.
And this is his mother.
Mhm.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It's not too far ago.
Yeah.
He goes, and is happy to say that now his mom, that same person, his mother, is able to take a private flight to Europe to go have coffee with her granddaughter.
Mhm.
So his show and his his perspective is using comic, using being funny to put out a message. You know what I'm saying? That's very intelligent,
Yeah.
very
I think,
articulate.
Chris Rock is a political comedian. He
Yeah.
has been his entire career.
Mhm.
So, I mean, this is what he does, is to be able to tell a story and bring awareness to very specific social issues.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's dope. And I think to dig deeper into the reasoning behind the whole Slapgate,
Slapgate.
to say no, you should not treat people that, no, you should not have an affair and then interview your husband on national television or on national internet, whatever the hell it was, and make almost like a mockery of him. What does that say? And then it's, what type of spell is your husband under? What type of shit you all got going on? In what country is that normal?
And it's a great question, second, because I wanted to get into this because I read Will Smith's book. Obviously, he wrote it before this whole Slapgate incident came. And during the book, there's a few things that I actually realized with Will, is that number one, when he was younger, his father used to physically abuse his mother.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. Yeah.
And he felt like a coward because at that time he didn't do nothing to help her. So what I seen throughout the book, what I noticed throughout the book, is that what I noticed throughout the book is that I think he compensates that with all the women in his life, to a point where sometimes they emasculate him. And this goes down not to his wife, but even his daughter. When he talks about the relationship with his daughter and how they are and everything like that, he blames himself for a lot of things that I feel like is not his fault. And I think that it comes from him feeling that way with his mother. Okay. Now, remember when people said, oh, well, Will Smith laughed when he said the joke, right? And when you read this book, now again, I'm going to reference it. This book was written way before the slap.
Right.
And he says that he has a thing and a habit when he's uncomfortable in an uncomfortable conversation, he laughs. So he's like, because he feels uncomfortable and he want to lighten up the mood to be a more comfortable mood.
Yeah, I do that too.
Yeah, so I think that a lot of people misconstrued him laughing, thinking it's funny. I think he already was uncomfortable. I'm not making excuses for him. I just want people to understand where Will Smith is coming from. I think that through his history, that he has some trauma when it comes to he just cares and respects women so much because of he felt like he never protected his mother. I want to protect the woman in my life. If you read that's what I got from the book.
I feel as though everybody has trauma,
Mhm.
right? Everybody's gone through very specific things that are traumatizing in their lives. It's when you're unable. You good, bro?
Yeah, I plug my computer.
Yeah, it's when you're unable to really dig deeper into it and work through it in a healthy way that starts to create issues. If you're not able to deal with your trauma
Right.
and get the help, the professional help that you need to get you through it.
Yeah.
And allow you to pick up the social skills. So when you feel triggered, this is what you should do. These are the tools that you should use, or maybe you shouldn't put yourself in spaces where you feel triggered. We have to start taking that ownership as adults, as human beings. And I feel like, Will Smith didn't allow himself the grace to do that, because had he done that, then there's a good possibility that night would have never even happened. And he would have never disrespected Chris Rock the way he did. And I think that's the part that I'm always like, okay. We've all been through some really fucked up shit, most of us. I would say if you were to put a group of 10 people together, at least 9 out of 10 of them been through some fucked up shit. Okay? But we're all going to react differently to it. But if you do the work to, you know what I mean? To get the tools that you need to be able to cope with your trauma, then you know what to do when you're put in those situations where you feel awkward. And there's no excuse for multi-million billionaires to not be able to address their trauma. And that's the part. That's why I don't like to give celebrities too much grace, because you make more money that you could save every single city that is disadvantaged and people poor. You could solve hunger issues.
But don't you feel
but
like,
I don't give them too much grace, because you got the money to go and hire the best psychiatrist to get you the tools that you need to work through your shit.
Don't you feel like when you get that money, it may add on some different type of trauma, because it's different lifestyle that you're gonna have to deal with. It's almost like when you give these basketball players, young basketball players, giving millions and millions of dollars. You're going through a lifestyle that is all brand new, just like he was brand new.
And he was that kid when Will Smith was that kid.
Yeah, he was that kid. So it's. I'm not giving him grace. I'm not excusing him for what he's doing.
It's layered. I know.
It's layered. It's layered, and I want people to really understand, because it's this narrative like, oh, he laughed. Why is he laughing all of a sudden? Like, you gotta understand who the person is. Is not excusing his reaction, because regardless what the reason was for, it was totally wrong, And I feel for Chris Rock, but honestly, I love how Chris Rock handled it. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing when I was watching that special. It was like, damn, you could tell when he's performing that he was nervous, he was hyped up. Yeah, you could tell. Like, he messed up on a couple of jokes.
Yeah,
he was telling a joke about Chris Rock about Jada Pinkett wanted him to boycott the Oscars because Will Smith didn't get nominated for concussion. But Chris Rock actually said Emancipation, and that's the recent movie Will Smith. So he confused the movies, but it's him. He's doing it live, and he messed it up. You know what I'm saying? But there was a couple other things that
he said he watches it now just to see him get whooped.
Yeah, he did. I watched it now to see him get whooped. Emancipation, which I want to see that movie because I heard it was good.
Listen, Will Smith is a talented artist, hands down. He is a phenomenal actor. You know what I mean? And he's human. So you give him grace just because of that, and that people make mistakes. They don't always make the right decisions and everything like that. But clearly mental health plays a significant part in his actions and stuff like that. So I get it. I'll give grace to that. But on the flip side, Will, get your shit. Go. These celebrities will sign into places like retreats that cost $20 million a day to relax.
I know,
but can't put that same effort into getting your mental health right. Come on, man, we gotta do better.
I was following his on YouTube. He was doing like this fitness journey, mental health. He was doing all this stuff.
Yeah, he does
book release.
Yeah. I think he's had a bad night, man. You don't know. Maybe he'll probably argue in the
for a long time. I thought it was publicity stuff.
Yeah,
because it just seemed like
it was too wrecked.
Right, like he got up there.
Do you feel that Jada has some accountability?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, you got your man.
You got before she didn't do anything.
She
She didn't budge.
She didn't even try to. Just try.
She didn't budge. And that's what people were saying. She gave him the look and he went up and he just did it.
She could have called like, no. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No. It would have stopped it. Like maybe he would have made him hesitate a little bit for him to think.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he just went. So in this Netflix stand up of Chris Rock, he went in more on Jada than he did Will.
Yeah.
He went in. Like even you can hear it.
Yeah,
Fuck your son, you fuck.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Because I feel like one, if Chris Rock was a married man, he is a father. All right. So you have that outlook on it. And you're looking at a woman who, first of all, her kids openly have had to go through their traumas openly in the public eye.
Yeah.
All right. On multiple levels. And it's like you're seeing these things where people usually how often do you see Chris Rock's daughter?
Yeah.
I didn't even know he had one.
Thank you. How often do you see Will Smith's first son, Trey?
True.
Rarely.
Because obviously he's a different woman.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
All right. And so there's, like he said, I got parents. Parenting matters. This is the stuff that you do. You know, but Jada has allowed her children to be these free spirits to where it's like there's minimal structure. And my understanding is through some of the little red table talks, you learn that Will actually was trying to be strict in certain respects. And then Jada was the one to talk them into, we need to have a different approach, all this other bullshit, stuff like that. So yeah, Jada ain't shit. I don't care what anybody says. Let women come and say whatever they're gonna say. I don't care if Jada is not shit. The fact that you would openly have an affair with one of your son's friends that supposedly was staying in the house because he didn't have no place to go at the time and was struggling internally with certain things.
Man. That's what I'm talking about.
What is wrong with you?
Fuck up, man. That's no respect, man.
It's no respect.
Summer 2023.
Yeah, it's no respect for yourself as a mother, and it's no respect for your husband, obviously.
Yeah. Oh.
You know what I mean?
That's the ultimate disrespect. You're not even respected in your own house.
No kidding. So it makes you wonder, like, what other shit went down.
Yeah. This can't be the only thing. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure it's not.
All right. Let's get into. Actually, I want to take another music break, and we can get into a couple of topics.
We don't know that Will was channeling Jada's face probably on Chris when he went to go slap. I'm gonna slap his face. I don't know.
Seriously.
Red table talk this,
bitch. But that built frustration, there's those little digs that maybe she did to him and everything like that.
Don't know.
Suppressing it, He's like, all right, it's my fault because he's validating the situation with his mother. It's a lot there. Yeah. I'm not excusing it.
We hear you,
Trauma can be untreated and not recognized for years, especially with
It could be, especially and not just the victims, the people who are inflicting the trauma as well.
And that's why I feel like, especially with your partner, you got to have these conversations. You got to really
take us down that tunnel, Charlie.
Shit.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take a music break and we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to a couple of topics. This guy who has 7 baby mamas and he don't want to take accountability of this shit. Like it's crazy, and he's put it all over social media. Then we're going to talk about Sierra. Big up to the single ladies when she is very happily married. You listen to the Wind Down Podcast at WNB1 Radio. This is Trey Songs. This is what I like. Come over.
that might be.
Come over.
Here we
Okay,
go.
okay.
You know what? You know what
Baby,
what we didn't say about the Chris Rock special is when he talked about selective wokeness.
So, yes.
And he was like,
Yeah.
and I agree with him because
Yeah.
I've been saying this for a grip. Like, you know, artists are artists, right? They're not meant to, and they should not be idolized. They should not be people. You should appreciate their artistry, period. And you have to learn how to separate who they are versus their artists, right? Because do you know how many like actual painters that are artists that were horrific individuals, but their paintings are worth like millions and millions of dollars, right?
Facts.
So he talked about, he's like, nah, you can't play Michael Jackson and not play R. Kelly. Same shit.
Yeah.
You know, same type of shit.
Right.
And I feel like people get on that type of,
we just play because you just like one artist because they have better songs.
Yeah.
But I gotta push back. I don't think Michael Jackson did it.
You could push back, but at the same time, what you do know is Michael Jackson has 7, 8, 9, 10, 12-year-olds having sleepovers at his house.
That's what makes it skeptical. Yeah, it's not normal.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Huh?
Sorry.
I'm kind of sidebar with you, but I'm in the middle of talking. I'm like, I'm not gonna catch it. My ear was trying to listen, but my lips were already moving on something else. But anyway, so yeah, that was another funny.
Yeah, he had a lot of good takes.
We also forgot to mention that our show is presented by Malulani Saray, bringing the spa experience into your home.
Malulani Saray. Go to malulanisaray.com and get your spa products for your home. Please
get your spa products. Every once in a while, she is also a vendor at our monthly comedy shows as well, along with Anika Skincare, Fogo, Kinks hair products. We also have muscle masks, and a number of other ones that we're probably going to be rotating in. So,
can I say? So, I went to the comedy show for the first time in February.
Okay.
And so I just told my wife today. I said I like comedy.
How could you not? You're hilarious.
I didn't know.
What do you mean?
Like I didn't know that I like we
live comedy.
Yeah, we watched live comedy today. We were watching like the special. That's what I watched some more. I didn't watch Chris Rock. I should have watched his.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, I really like comedy more than I thought.
Yeah.
I would go to a comedy show.
Of course.
I mean, I've been going.
All right.
You gotta watch the Dion Cole one on Netflix.
Dion Cole's funny.
Dion Cole's hilarious.
He is hilarious.
He has
a couple of them. It's one where he has like a black shirt on.
I think that's the one we were about to watch.
Yo, watch that one. That's probably the oldest one. Watch that one. That's like from beginning to end is hilarious. There's a joke where he talks about. I'm probably gonna fuck up a joke. There's a joke where he talks about, he goes, he's in a club, right? And he had this fine girl. She's like, yo, he goes, you want to do a threesome, whatever, like that, right? And she's like, yeah. He goes, how's your girl look? And she goes, she cute. He goes, when a girl says she cute, you gotta really see it.
She's not, right.
So when he gets to the spot, this girl walks in. She has like basketball shorts on.
Come on.
Because she had that hoop backpack. The string with the hoop backpack.
No.
Right?
No.
And she's walking around. Goes, oh, this is the one we're gonna put this work on. This like that. And when she got ready, man, she had like a tank top on. He took her tank top and put it over the head and kept it around the shoulders.
Come on. What?
Stop.
She was like, you ain't gonna put work on me.
Hilarious.
It's hilarious. Oh, man.
I just told Nikita this. I think we were watching the lady from Abbott Elementary, the principal.
Oh, I love
that's what started it. Janelle. And there was another guy on it who said, was it Tommy Davis? I don't know. I watched so many recently that he was like, I love like if you're in a long line in a store, like a white woman's gonna stand up and say, "What's going on? What's happening here?" Like those kids. So I was in Target the other day with the kids. Long line, and a lady came through, and she's like, "What's going on? What's happening?" Like, is this what line is this? And I almost lost it because I immediately thought about that stand-up comedian, and it took everything in me to keep it together.
Yeah,
she literally came and said, "What line is this? What's happening?
Yeah.
What are we doing?" Like, and I was like, "This is great. It's great. I don't have to say anything."
Comedy is not funny unless there's some truth to it.
There's always some truth in it.
There's always some truth to it. So, yeah, that's hilarious. Okay, let's talk about something else that's hilarious. This clip here, he was trending this week because he posted this video of himself talking about his 7 baby mamas. Listen what he had to say.
Oh, man.
Got 7 kids and 7 baby mamas. I was being irresponsible, yet not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children. We both was irresponsible about the decisions we made that night. Another thing is, these just jump offs. These are the type of women that I ain't even have to do nothing for, but they gave me access to their body. I don't even have no type of love for these women. How do they expect me to love these children?
This is the. So, what do you think about that?
These are the moments that leave me speechless because I'm like, God, just help the kids. Just get the kids out of there. Like, 7 kids, 7 baby mamas.
Here's my thing.
10 kids, something like
Here
that.
we go.
7 baby mamas. Okay, the first baby mama. Okay. Second baby mama. Okay. Third.
Like nobody was wife
come
material.
On. Like nobody. Come on. 7. Like the worst one is the seventh baby mama. Like you knew what this guy's all about.
She had
and I'm not saying he's wrong. I'd say he's right. I think he's disgusting to even think like that. You know what I'm saying? But you got to put some accountability. Like, come on, man. Industry wise is better. I get it.
And he looked like he was young, so he's not done.
Yeah. So it was like
he's not
come
done.
on.
My thing is this. Once again, people should have psychological evaluations once they become of age to where they become sexually engaged with people. Psychological evaluations. Get your surgery, get your vasectomy. You don't want kids running around here, get a vasectomy. Period. I don't even understand that. You know, it makes me question. It makes me question the women that he did sleep with. Because I'm like, girl.
I think it was the video went out where he didn't even know what a vasectomy was till now.
See what I mean? See what I mean?
So start a GoFundMe.
Come on, man.
7 kids and you don't know what a vasectomy is?
He got to go back to high school. He got a GD?
I don't even know, man.
Don't sound like it.
No.
I need him to go back to basics.
Right.
He's not.
And start him in elementary level, chapter 1.
Health, right?
He needs it.
Health education.
Right. He needs it.
He's not smart to even post a video like that.
I mean, who would?
Someone who's stupid.
Who would? And Charlie said, snip, snip.
Yeah,
exactly.
Man.
Exactly. I think that's insane. I don't know. What was the question about it again?
Nothing. It wasn't right.
That's what
I mean. Like, I think he's right and wrong at the same time. I want to believe. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I'm looking at it. Is like, yo, you're an asshole for not being accountable of your partners.
Here's where I'm at.
Because you say you didn't want it, but you still did the act yourself.
Yeah, you haven't sex.
But at the same time, as a woman, you know who to do. What 7 babies, mama? Like I'll give some grace to the first, second, maybe third, but
providing they all knew about one another, right? Because there's that part too. I mean, I just think that again, you be cautious of who you choose to lay down with.
Yeah.
You know, be cautious of who you choose to lay down with because you can avoid a lot of trauma.
Now, let me ask you this: do you feel, as a woman, that because it's your body and y'all the one that's gonna conceive this child, we're just looking back on that aspect of not even looking back on the aspect of providing for the child.
Well, it takes 2 people to conceive it. You mean you're the one that's going to actually carry the child?
You know what I mean. Okay. So, what I'm saying is that when a woman sleeps with a man, I understand it's fun. We human, we have these. I get that, right or wrong, whatever. That's a different conversation. What I'm saying is that when you sleep with a man, you gotta. I think as a woman, for her own responsibility. We're talking about a woman because men have their will have their conversation too when you choose to sleep with somebody. I think because a woman bears the brunt of holding, not a brunt, I don't want to say it's a bad thing, but the responsibility of this 9-month, this child, and everything like that. To think about, all right, I'm gonna sleep with this man, regardless if we're together or not. Is this the right person? Is this the right man? Do I think that I should even have a baby with, regardless if we're together or not?
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, it's not guaranteed that you're gonna be together or not.
Right.
But is this person is showing me the moral, the character of everything, or to say that he will take on this responsibility, or am I just attracted to because he's fun? And I think I know it's a tough thing to ask for women to do. You know what I'm saying? I know that it's a lot for women to do, but because of the responsibility so much, that it's something that should be asked of women to do.
What's the question to me? I'm sorry.
Do you feel that's right to say?
Okay, now finish saying what you.
To say where I feel like when you sleep with a man, how you look at it is like you got to ask yourself. I'm thinking as a woman when I'm looking at this man. Is he showing the good enough character, to moral standards, to because once I sleep with this guy, there's a potential that I may get pregnant from this guy. Like if we use condoms or whatever, there's always that potential. So as a woman, you got to have that mindset. That's just the women's side. There's a men's side to it. Don't get me wrong. There's a men's side to it.
I think that should be on both parts, right? I think that should be on both parts.
Yeah. But
at the same time, the man should be looking at the woman and thinking, "Is this somebody that I would want to have a child with, or somebody that I think is fit to?"
So maybe
be,
I should have said it that way.
You know, because I really do. I think it's both.
Yeah,
but I understand what you're saying, where the brunt of the overall situation falls on the woman because she actually has to carry the child and everything like that. So you would think that we would be more cautious on who we choose to sleep with. But we're human, right? And I think that's why we desperately need outlets like, agencies like Planned Parenthood to be able to give women those options. In case something, does happen where they now have this moment of self-reflection. They say, I don't think this is what I want. I think that's why that option needs to continue to be there, for that reason, which I also think that's why the option to have a vasectomy for a man needs to be there and needs to be fully funded. Both should be fully funded by whatever insurance company they have. That's the other thing too, is that it's a fundamental human issue. Right, we all can say at one point or another, "Damn, I slept with that person. That's crazy. Why did I choose to sleep with that person? That's nuts. I wish I could take that back." I think we've had those times, So I think this is something at times you would think that the society would have kind of nailed this down by now with the different health issues that have arisen amongst humans. In particular, the AIDS epidemic, that happened. You would think that at that point in time, we would have started to institute different things within the healthcare system that would be universal to help humans, protect themselves a little bit better and allow them, easier ways to navigate those decisions. That is what really should be going on. And unfortunately, we're still fighting for people to have actual rights to their bodies. So yeah, I agree with you that I think that people should. I know that for me, I've had moments where I didn't think that way, and then naturally, I've had moments, obviously, where I did think that way. I don't have any kids, so that's
because I feel like once a woman, you're gonna have a child. That's it. As a man, regardless how you feel about it, just in your moral standing, you're gonna have to take responsibility, accountability of that child, and help provide, if not fully provide, for that child. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And even though, like what this man is saying, I told them I don't want to have children. They got pregnant and still kept the kid. So why should I why should I be responsible for the kid? So that's what I'm saying is like, he told these women that he didn't want to have children. They still made the decision.
The
And I was
reason
like,
why
why
he
did you
should-
sleep with him when he's telling you this?
But you know what? The reason why he should be responsible, because despite whatever he said, he still chose to lay down with
Right.
them.
I'm not.
And
not
yeah,
yeah,
that's
I'm
why
not
he
saying-
should be
No,
responsible.
I know,
for
but
them.
that's goes without
Yeah,
saying.
he's just so
But
damn
I'm just looking
ignorant.
at the
It's
other
crazy.
aspect is like,
Same.
it's like come
Yeah.
on, man. Like you know,
Same.
what
And
you're
listen,
doing.
there
Yeah.
are I know of women that have chosen to have children after that conversation was had.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
they are raising them, and the man has given up their legal rights to the child, and they're raising their child, and there's documents, there's court, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
there's attorneys that handle these things specifically,
Mhm.
where they can just give up all of their rights to them if they choose to have.
The sad
You know,
reality is people
that child.
have an agenda. You never know if these women just wanted kids,
Right.
and that was their end goal. Some people, that's their goal. Their goal is, and they don't care if there's a father in the picture or not.
Mhm.
But that I don't know, that bothers me with that mindset.
It's
It
there.
really
It's
does
out there.
bother me because
It's out there.
like people are having kids but not being parents, and that's it's just,
But that's been happening.
I know.
That's
Right.
why I'm saying, like,
It-
this
it-
has
it
been a
bothers me.
fundamental human issue
Mhm.
from
Forever.
forever.
Yeah.
Forever. So where do we get back to basics on valuing family structure, valuing both parents in the household?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Where do we start to instill these types of things into our young people? Because
And it's not seen as wrong.
it's not seen as
Right,
wrong.
right.
Before we start to normalize same-sex parenting and everything like that, why don't we nail down
Yeah.
Right.
basic fundamentals
Right.
first?
Right.
Let's get to basics on, you know what I mean, why you should not just sleep with whoever. You know what I mean?
I have the mindset now as I get older. It's like now it's like even though there's no threat of anybody being pregnant, I get the
Mhm.
mindset goes, if I get a girl pregnant, how am I gonna explain this to my mother? How am I
Mhm.
gonna explain this to the
Right.
people that's close to me?
It's that part too.
Right.
Because I don't want them to look like I'm crazy. I'm all freaking irresponsible. So
Yeah.
Right.
and if especially if they never met this person before, it's one thing if we're in a relationship and shit happens, okay, that's easy to explain.
Mhm.
But if you are with somebody who hasn't met anybody close to me,
Sorry, guys.
and that person gets pregnant, like I'm already in my mind, mindset like I'm gonna take accountability for it. I'm gonna help them
Mhm.
take care of it, not take care of it fully. But damn, I gotta explain this to my mother and everyone else
Yeah.
that I'm
That's
close
a
to.
fun
And how do I
conversation.
do that?
Right, right.
I'm more worried about that than really, taking responsibility and accountability
Mhm.
of making a child with somebody. And I think that's the mindset people need to have now, where when you see with somebody, do I really want to have a child with you?
Right.
Right.
Do I want to have this lifetime commitment
Right.
or this one night stand? You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you, besides your walk with Christ, your partner is like the second biggest decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're with that person. I was just talking to a couple of guys. We do a crew at church Friday, and I was saying, I thank God for my wife because she was the one person that was like, she stood strong. I'm like, hey, you got to be in church. Like, you're not going to be able to really be in my family's life if you're not involved in the church and don't have a relationship with God. Like, there's no pass and go. There's no nothing, and that changed everything for me.
She set the standard.
She set the standard.
I believe that's what women do.
And we're accountable on both parts,
Yes.
But it's like if she hadn't said that, I don't know what I'd be doing. I'd be,
And this is what I say.
probably still in my mom's basement.
Yep. And that's why I say, I don't know. I just put, and it's a lot of responsibility on a woman. Maybe it's unfair.
It's how society's set up, and then we praise guys that show up, but we should show up.
Yeah.
We should always have shown up, but it's like we almost praise like, oh, there's a father,
But isn't it sometimes? Again, I feel like when you use your wife as an example, she sets the standard.
she said it.
So,
for me.
so for you to be with this person, because obviously she's the prize. That's why she has the power to set the standard.
Mhm.
She set the standard, and so if I want to be with this person, this is the man I gotta be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that.
So if this is the man I gotta be to be with this person, that you're creating that dynamic. That's why I like. Sometimes I'm so on women because women have the power to set the standard to create a better
Because
society.
you're so passionate about it. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like because I just feel like women have that power. They have all the more power than men, and they set the standard. And sometimes when you complain about how men are, you gotta hold yourself accountable too, because we're only doing what women will allow. I feel. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing it if women don't allow it, because everything we do is for women. There's not
That's
one thing
true.
we don't do for women. We go to work to provide for your woman.
That's true. That's
You know
true.
what I'm saying? Police officers, go to work to protect majority for women. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like men, we can't protect ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got to police the community, but a lot of things are just, and we should protect them. We should do for women, but at the same time, we do it because they're the ones
It's
that
mutual.
set the standard.
It's mutual.
They have the power to set the standard.
Right.
So,
but I mean, it's mutual. Tables turned. If it was me, the hope would be if my wife at the time we were dating wasn't in church, that I would encourage her.
yeah.
I think that's where there's a mutual exchange and
But let me ask you this: say if the roles were reversed,
Mm-hmm.
and he says you got to be a woman of church. I don't see a woman confiding in what you want to be with that writer, because she's like, all right, I'm just gonna go to this person over here, because they're the truth is we're the chasers. When we chase, we're chasing you. So if we want you, y'all set the standard. You got to be this man to have me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So roles reverse. It's not like that, because you're still chasing her. It's like,
Right.
no, you ain't no. You're coming at me. I'm not coming at you. So why I got to confine on what you are when you're coming at me? The other one is, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the whole dynamic. The dynamic of it.
Yeah, that's challenging.
It is challenging.
It's challenging, but then again, that's I think Haywood brings up a great point: is that your partner is just as important.
Huge.
It's huge. So I think, again, this goes back to communicating effectively,
Mm-hmm.
right, with who you're with, being extremely selective with who you're engaging with on a consistent basis
Mm-hmm.
too. And be cognizant of who you spend your time with.
Yeah. Be very selective, and I don't pay attention to the shallow stuff. Because at the end of the day,
Okay, Kevin.
what's that? Women are still playing roles as soft and delicate. So
Okay.
That's a bar, huh? That's
Let's
a
go,
bar.
Kevin Pino.
Yo, you're trying to get somebody on our podcast, huh? Yeah. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get in.
Yeah, know who and what you want. You're right,
Yeah.
Charlie. I think that's important too. I mean, but then again, when you look at social media, is such a huge part of how this world operates, and you look at people normalizing, having children at such a young age, where clearly people aren't able
Right.
to make right decisions all the way around without some type of guidance, but yet they can have a baby and bring a child in this world,
Yeah.
and it's insane, but it's normalized,
Mhm.
having children. I mean, come on, MTV had a whole show on teen moms. I mean, that's insane to me.
I feel like I was just having this.
Watched it.
Yeah. I was having this conversation
Watched it,
earlier with a
but-
friend, and was talking about single parenting, especially for women. Now,
Yeah.
Haywood, you have children, you're married with your wife, so I definitely want to know your opinion on this take. I feel is like when it comes to children, when you're a single parent,
Mhm.
I think women have the superpower to be nurturing, be empathetic
Mhm.
to that child, what that child needs, right?
Right.
Men have the superpower to create the structure and the discipline that the kids do
Mhm.
need.
Mhm.
You're the disciplinarian.
Mhm.
And the reason why I feel like it's easier for men to do that, women, it's hard for women to do that because they're more connected to their child because it comes out of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you don't love your child, you don't care about your child, whatever. But I think it's easier for you to be disciplined to your child than a woman, because at the end of the day, her superpower is empathy and everything like that, which is great. So that cohesiveness. So when you're a single parent, and especially you're a woman single parent, even a man single parent,
Mhm.
it's hard because to find that balance of
Right.
disciplinarian and empathy at the same time, and to make sense to that child is hard.
Or I'm going to tell you, being raised by a single woman, it takes a village.
Mm-hmm.
Not perfect. I just had this conversation at church with someone today.
Mm-hmm.
The irony about my personal life is, and this is just my story, I feel like thank God my parents weren't together,
Mm.
because I see the outcome of a 2-parent home that my brothers lived in. One of them is not here.
Hello.
Interesting.
Just gonna drop that.
Yeah.
One of them is not here.
Yeah.
Right.
So it almost debunks the myth of single parenting.
That's right.
Because my mom is not perfect. My biological mom's not perfect. But what she was doing the best that she could, and was as healthy as she could be, and surrounded herself with healthy people.
Yeah.
Like my family, like she only allowed people into my life who were healthy. Like, you know, my family's not perfect, but my family, the love that we have for each other, it's so different. And then, like, I mean, I literally just had this conversation like 12 hours ago. And, you know, as you get older, you can look back and see, in the midst of it, I definitely thought I was missing out. You know, my grandfather took me to Little League and everything, so they assumed he was my father, that my mom was dating a man 30 years older than her. You know, like, just all that assumption. It's layered as a kid, and you're like, no, it's my grandfather. You know, like, and so you assume you're missing out on a piece of something that, you know, you see most people have. Then come to find out, my brothers were not getting healthy versions of parents. And, you know,
at any capacity.
The consequences
That's the sad
of
part.
it. Yeah, the
That's
consequences
the sad
of it. So it's really almost, the perfect model is 2 healthy parents, or at least one, for God's sake. You know, like, but 2 healthy parents trying to be the best version of themselves.
Yes. But when you don't have that,
right?
Sometimes
Kevin just said that it's sad the village doesn't really exist anymore. You got to create it.
Yeah.
You know, you got to create it. And honestly, that's the conversation we're having in church, is that, like, you find, if it's in church, if it's in your sports club, your group here, this is, you guys are part of my community. You know, and so it's important for you guys to be healthy too, like, because my kids are going to be around you guys. They're going to know who you guys are. And so, you know, you have to know, we talk about this all the time.
All the time, yeah.
All the time. Ezekiel was at the house yesterday.
Yeah. And that's like a big part too, right? And I think we've talked about it, you know, multiple times on the, you know, being raised by single parents, and
we all are.
You know, the things that you're exposed to. But it's when you're exposed to the abusive aspects, and the unfortunate part of having an abusive parent, when you're exposed to that at such a capacity where it traumatizes you as an adult, and you hold and you suppress a lot of that stuff, it starts to come out in other ways. But if you have that one parent that was strong enough to get you out of that situation and raise you and have those conversations with you and taught you that is not correct, that is not right, this is not what love looks like, you know, and then makes it a point to be there consistently and show you the right ways and put you around the right people and expose you to things that you never thought in your life you would have ever been exposed to in a positive way. You know, it makes such a huge difference.
It's crazy because, you know, everybody experienced some type of trauma, but I think trauma from your parents and probably your siblings is probably really hard to come back from.
Oh yeah.
And it's just taught behavior.
Yeah, and so it's like your trust circle is violated.
Yep.
And so it's like, where do you go? You know, and that's where people end up in these bad cycles of drugs and bad behavior.
Don't let you try to confront that trauma head on without the right tools.
Right.
We all know what that's like. When we try to, and then that's when we gotta lean on each other. Listen,
right?
Do you know what just happened? My mother did, and my father did. Hey, we gotta lean on one another, because you gotta just be able to give that honest and good, positive.
That's crazy. That's what your dad was. For
Yeah,
me
but
when
strong. But strong feedback, and this is stuff that you need. I remember the conversations.
I was at her dad's job, the house, all the time because during college I went to Bridgewater, and I didn't have anybody to lean on. He was like the person, and to the point that my mom's like, I gotta meet this Jeff. Yeah. Now this is long story short, Bebe is from my stepmom's side of the family,
right?
And so we connected, and it was like, thank God. Like, you know, and it's like having, my mom felt good knowing that there was people like, okay, he's okay. You know?
It was hard.
Ooh.
That's why it was like when we and I think all of us, because we've talked about this before, Berto, too, is that the trauma that we've experienced, when you see people that move in a way as if that trauma did not exist,
right?
And then when we see them on specific platforms and given the, the mic to go ahead and say A, B, and C, you're just like,
right?
yeah, man, they gotta be exposed. This is, you know what I mean? It's crazy. And then you're just like, then you're on edge a little bit because you're like, there's no way that this person could possibly really believe everything that's coming out of their mouth. It just doesn't make sense. Blah, blah, blah. That's traumatizing in itself because now it stirs up. Now we're triggered.
Yeah.
And now we spend it's crazy. I don't even know how we spiraled into this, but I agree with Kevin.
It's all about.
I agree with Kevin saying, it's sad that those specific villages don't exist anymore. Stuff.
But what Haywood said, you're gonna build them, and it's funny when you say that. I'm thinking like I just love how my cousin and my friend is raising their children. We went out for drinks Friday, and we had a conversation about them. Like I mentioned that we talked about this on the last show and everything, and we were like just reminiscing on those conversations we had, and we started getting more deep in how who he brings the kids around. Who like why am I so close? Like just yesterday they asked like they're going to Friendly's for ice cream. They call me, want to meet us, go for ice cream. You know what I'm saying? Because it's that connection you have with the children. And he's subconsciously creating the environment where your kids are gonna be around, and he's always involved. If it's driving them to, I want to see where you're going.
That's
I'm gonna drive you. You know what I'm saying? I want to see. I want to see who these people
it's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta be like that.
You gotta be. That's parenting. But by doing that, you're sacrificing a lot of things that you want to do personally.
Have to.
Of course.
You have to, and that's part of being a parent.
What people don't realize is, I understand in order for you to make your children happy, you got to be happy. But at the end of the day, when you chose to have a child and bring it into this world, you better be prepared to take a back seat.
Yeah.
Your child comes first, period. So come hell or high water, sacrifices have got to happen. I'm tired of that mentality of, I got to look out for me. You should have thought about that before you decided to have kids. If you wanted to continuously look out for yourself, then I'm just going to say it. Don't have kids.
Yeah. Right.
Don't have kids unless you're wholeheartedly prepared to put everything you got into them. Because I'm a product of a parent who did that. And I'm a testament to the type of parent my father was and the type of individual that he was. I walk in his legacy every day, and I'm proud of that, but only because I was exposed to that type of situation, and that's what good parenting is about. Shit, you save your child's life when you're a good parent. That's what parents don't realize.
When you want to have a kid, you got first thing, am I prepared to become second for the rest of my life?
Yeah, man, come on.
You're gonna be for the rest of your life.
Sleepless nights.
Can I say something? Like, and I know my mother's watching, but I didn't say this because it's just because I love and value my mom so much. My mother brings me food for dinner to work. So a couple times a week. You know what I'm saying? Because she's retired, and I know she does it because she loves me, and it makes her happy to do it. I understand that, but as a 40-plus-year-old man, I'm like, it kind of bothers me.
No, it's
but not that my mother's doing it because the food's good.
Look, if my stepmother's listening, I will gladly take. If you feel like delivering lunch to the office every day, we will be sitting there waiting for it. But I'm going to tell you that.
My mother did so much.
To Berto's mother as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's right down the road from me delivering something. Feel free. Stop by 978 that road. We will be there.
Right?
She, I love the fact she does it. Sometimes it bothers me that I had the food because I didn't have no time to cook or I had no food in the house. So she's helping me. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like I don't appreciate it. I don't like it. I don't want it.
Yeah, you just feel some sort of way about it.
I feel way because she's done so much. So y'all leaving your house at 7 o'clock at night, 6 o'clock at night to drop food at me, to drive all the way to the building and to go back. I appreciate it, but sometimes it don't bother me. I feel guilty. That's what it is. I feel guilty.
Yeah, but go ahead.
I'm gonna just say, let me tell you, you gotta find somebody that understands how your mother loves you, because that's the art with Nikita and I. You're your mom's only child?
No, I got a brother.
You got a brother.
Yeah.
So I'm my mom's only, and so Nikita knew coming in, like, look, my mom and I have a unique relationship. We're super close. It's just been us, and so you got to have a spouse that understand, and your mom understand. My mom had to shift her, but man, I wouldn't change that lady for anything.
Yeah,
God bless your
that's
mom.
how my
That's a
stepmom
topic I
was
want
too.
to get into with maybe next week or next time with us on the show about the transition of the mother and the spouse that comes in.
Let me tell you, I'll give you a preview. And I just told somebody this the other day. My mom and I were actually not homeless, but displaced, housing displaced. Her house got flooded, a tree fell on her roof, and so we were living in a motel months before we got married. And it was difficult because my mom didn't have a place to go. The motel ran out, and I ended up getting an apartment for my wife and I. And I said to my mom, I said, "Look, they have 2 bedrooms. They're like separate. You will have it." And she was like, "No, I don't want to do it because you guys are establishing something new." Like
she respected
that. Yeah,
she created her own boundaries.
She created her own, and it displaced her for a while. It wasn't easy, and it wasn't easy to watch it. But it was just like, in hindsight, I understand what she was doing because she didn't want to. My mom's super opinionated. She's a sweetheart, but she's super, super opinionated. So she knew herself.
My mother's the same way.
Yeah, she knew herself. She was like, if I go into this with you guys, I'm gonna be all in your business. Yeah.
That's showing self-awareness and respect.
It is. And it's weird, right? Because on the flip side, for me, it was the opposite of having another woman in the house, and it was me and dad, and I was like, this is some bullshit. And then it's like from the child's perspective, you're like, I know I'm not ready for this.
Right.
But like my father was so he was so communicative because I remember him coming to us, he's like, I like this woman, and if it's all right with you, I like to go ahead, this and that, blah, blah. And I was gung ho for it.
Yeah.
I was gung ho for it until the sleepovers started to happen, and I was just like, I think this is messing me up a little bit. I don't know, and it's an adjustment, but you have to be able to have that type of relationship with your parent to persevere through it. Now I remember when I chose to move out of the house in Dartmouth, when they had built the house in Dartmouth and everything like that. I was like, okay, I was young, I was still 17 or 18 or something like that, and I was like a couple of years into it, and I'm like, I don't think this is gonna work. I'm the oldest girl. I can't. I think it's time for me to be in my own space. This is another woman's. Essentially, I had to give up it was a reality check because I give up the role of being the only, young lady in my father's life to now I got to share him with this other woman. But I saw him and what he went through with my biological mom. So I so much wanted him to just be happy, So I had to learn how to just adjust, know my place as a child. That was the other thing too, because we got into some heated arguments, and I remember my dad saying, "Hold up, know your place, young lady." And I had to, he had to, being the disciplinarian, right? Like brother, like you were saying, he had to do that. But it was such a weird. It's a culture shock almost, But then you adjust, and blended families work out, and and stuff like that. But it's so important to give your parent grace in those moments too. It's weird. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna take another music break. People that's listening on the Facebook Live, they don't allow us to play music, but if you want to download, you should download the WNB1 Radio app, and you can listen to the music that we play along, even with the conversations that we are talking about. I'm going to play this song called "Slow" from Tank and Jay Valentine. You'll listen to the Wind Down podcast at WNB1 Radio. We'll be right back after this. listen to the Wind Down Podcast of WNB1 Radio. Kiss the one that's next to you.
Smooches.
Yeah, she appreciates you, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Now rub those corns. All right, I'm gonna
Scratching the sheets. She's all
yeah.
feet all rough.
Damn, I got paper cut on my hands and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, listen to the Wind Down Podcast at WNB1 Radio. I'm here. I'm your host, B. Carter, with my co-host, Big Haywood, and our producer extraordinaire, MG.
We got Sierra up next.
Yeah. If any, I try to play this, look for the song, but you know, I forgot to even download the song. So this will be a quick take on, you know, Sierra. This girl made a song.
Mm-hmm.
This woman, I want to disrespect. This woman made a song to up single women.
To like uplift them. I haven't heard the song. So.
Me either. What's it called?
I forgot the name of the song. I gotta look it up.
I see Better Things.
Yeah, I think that's Better Things.
With Summer Walker.
Yeah, by Sierra Summer Walker. And it's basically about, you know.
You got the lyrics up here?
Yeah, but you know, this is gonna be a struggle. Lately, I've been living my life. Don't pay the hate, no mind. Doing better things with my time. Elevated to a new height. Never do the same thing twice. Putting all the lame on ice. I've been spitting on the drinks. Ain't got no complaints. CC in her own lane. Eventually they come around. Better things, I'll do everything. Ain't no time, stop calling my line. All this kind of stuff. This kind of chatter.
Yeah. That type of man.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't need you, whatever, so and so. But then she's living a totally different lifestyle. What do we think about that? Like,
I think Beyonce did Single Ladies.
Oh, Beyonce did the same thing.
So.
She makes up a lot of songs.
Yeah.
That
you know what? I like Sierra anyway, so
yeah.
I don't know. For me, I'm just kind of like, I don't really care. But I do think that I wish they had more of the Cardi B mentality. Like when Cardi B, people were trying to come for her and be like, oh, you know, she's making this music. It's vulgar. And my teenage daughter, she said, I don't make this shit for your teenage daughter.
Right,
I make it for adults.
Yeah.
My music is for adults, not for children. Yeah. I don't even let my daughter listen to my shit, okay?
She's making it for the single ladies.
Right.
But then if the people want to say, oh, she's a hypocrite because she's living a totally different lifestyle.
Well,
she was single once, remember? Future's baby mama. Come on. But she's doing it for all his other baby mamas.
That's initially who I thought you were talking about with the baby mama.
Future? He's not his Future?
Yeah. No. I think what I want to have this topic briefly is because I think that we're holding these artists to a too high of a standard.
Hello.
Where
we're idolizing them.
Yeah. My friend told me, we was having a debate about just basic things. And he made a comment that really struck me. He said, social media in music is raising children.
Yeah.
Oh, facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sidebar, I saw a thing online that said Sierra could have done, she has so much music, she should have done the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, she would have killed it.
And then they played some songs. I was like, wow, that would have been great.
Yeah, Sierra would have killed it. Sierra would have killed it.
Look at Charlie coming through lyrics. He's just actually
Charlie! Good luck, brother. Yeah, so I think that that's the reason why I brought this up is that, you know,
I get what you're
like
saying.
she's making music. All right, if it's a good song, it's a good song, regardless of what it stands for. But I think that they put the artist on a pedestal that they should not be. They're making music. They're not teaching you how to live your life.
Right.
You know?
And at the end of the day, they're going to play into whatever is happening in the world now. So they're going to play off of that, right? Yeah. So if there's like a mean dash for women empowerment, then be prepared for women empowerment songs to be coming out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's all driven by
like my mind goes back to Jasmine Sullivan.
Oh, yeah.
And what song was that?
What's that song? I know which one you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Wait, I gotta look it up.
But Jasmine Sullivan has came out with some. Jasmine Sullivan got this one song where she's like, "I know we've been in a relationship, but I'm in love with somebody else. This shit is it's fucked up, but it is what it is. You're gonna have to accept it. This and that. Real artists know how to do it in the right way. I don't know. Sierra's a different type of artist. To me, she's a pop artist first, so she's gonna play into whatever pop culture is leaning towards. Thing. Like I think that's her.
That's her niche.
That's her niche. You know what I'm saying? Because she was also singing "Level Up," "Level Up" when she was married to Russell Wilson too. You know what I mean? Now, granted, she leveled up from Future to Russell Wilson.
Right.
That was a big level up. But not all women. I think I kind of get what you're saying. Not all women are in that space to be able to entertain that level or caliber of man. Anyway. So what do you think? It's like a false hope that she's putting out there because
she's dictating how you should live as a single lady, but people expect her because of the lifestyle she's living. It is so out there that she should make music to influence people to create a relationship and a lifestyle that she's living. I think that they're putting too much responsibility on her just that she's just making music. But I get where they're coming from.
I can't with Corey.
Corey says, one for when he first said women empowerment. He said, the award going to Sam Smith the way the world is going. Facts.
He's the nominee next
year. My God.
Yeah. Sam Smith came out of left field.
And you know what's wrecked?
He can sing.
He can sing.
All we want you to do is sing,
That's
brother.
it. That's it, Sam. Let's get it back.
What's with Sam?
Sam Smith started wearing dresses, makeup, all this other foolishness and stuff.
But he came out like the male Adele.
He
was the male version of Adele.
Yeah, he was.
Could sing, give you a ballad, get some notes, have the accent. You're like, okay, great. And now, and I think it was no secret that he was gay. Like people knew like that he was openly gay. But then it's like, now it's like, what? Like what? Like okay,
you're killing the image of
he went like really like he had a devil jumpsuit on. Like before he just come dressed like regular, but it's I think what it is. It's what sells right now. It's what's hot right now. It's what
Yeah, I felt the same way about Bad Bunny. I was like, this is not right. This is fucked up.
I keep thinking. Okay,
Chris Rock also said that people are all like attention. What do you say? People are.
We used to be about love, but now about
attention.
Likes.
Attention and likes. Yeah.
Where the drug that we are addicted to is attention.
Attention. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
It is true.
People just love
and
attention. It's that dopamine that you want to be in attention.
Pop culture. You want to be in. So you can't be opinionated on everything. You can't have opinions that.
I'll trade my legs for Sierra though. Let me take her off the back screen. Let's go back to the window.
But yeah, like I think go back to that's a good thing to talk about because we talked about Chris Rock earlier.
Yeah.
Like as adult people are addicted to attention. We used to be all about love, now we're all about likes. Mm-hmm. You want that attention. You want to sit, you want to hear you're beautiful.
Right.
Goes, I got you. Yeah, you tell him, girl. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like it goes, you're all right. She don't need her. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's just, it's even like I get mad when people you're putting out when a person passed away. You're constantly putting out the funeral pictures when they're like the hearse and all that stuff, and they're on their deathbed. It's like that's not for them. That's for you. You want likes. Right. You want attention.
Talk about it.
I do not get it. I don't. Let me tell you that in particular. I don't get.
You have not seen one post of me about my brother. Because why post
it's none of the
it?
Business.
Why post it? And that's just my personal belief.
Yeah.
You want to post all day, but I haven't posted one thing about my brother because I feel like why? What am I posting it for?
Don't post something that it should be personal. Yeah. That goes from your body. That goes from your personal things that you're going through. Yeah. That's people that's close to you. Like even children. Children, like you can post. I understand you're proud of your children,
never really post
but if you post them every single day, goes yo, you don't know who's looking at these pictures, yo.
That part.
You can go through my social. I rarely post.
Don't
kids.
do that because you don't know. They're like, oh, they're gonna target your child. You don't know where this kid go to school. They're gonna look through your thing, and that's what people do.
The creeps.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I understand you like the likes, you like the attention, but you might attract the wrong attention. It just takes one. And social media is being used for that aspect. You start.
So are dating sites.
Yes. Yeah. Very true.
True.
Very true. Very true. So I mean,
Can I get something off my chest?
Yeah,
It's nothing deep. It's nothing deep.
Go ahead.
It's nothing deep. I was watching the comedy show from Samoa.
Okay, yeah, it's more.
So when you said Cardi B, she did a thing about Cardi B, and she said women that get like the BBLs and all that stuff. She said it should be mandatory that if you have 3 or more surgeries, that you leave there with a voice like Maya Angelou.
Because Cardi B's voice is fucked up.
Because she's saying like you can't have like a sexy voice and look like this and everything. Like something's got to give.
Yeah, you gotta. So you need something
because Maya Angelou's voice
to even it out.
Right. Maya Angelou, love her. R.I.P. All right.
Phenomenal woman.
In the times of women getting these surgeries.
Yeah, you should see this.
Stop! Don't be disrespecting her like that.
Yeah. You like that?
Oh, stop!
That
not my Angelou.
That's what she said.
That's phenomenal.
I gotta find it. I'll send it to you guys.
You all ain't shit.
Oh shit! All right, let's get into this last topic of the day.
Here we go. Hold on.
Biden's nominee for was it Woman of the Year? The woman of the month. What is it?
For women, I don't know.
I think it's Woman of the Year. Biden's
Can I sleep through this one?
congressional woman of the Year. If nobody knows, wait to our producer gets it on the
I
screen.
don't even know what.
Okay. Biden's nominee for Woman of the Year is actually a man, biologically.
Yeah, transgender. Yeah. Yep.
Can I just say too? I just saw
Dr. Rachel Levine.
Dr. Rachel Levine.
The artist formerly known as let me stop. That's fucked up. Sorry.
I got to issue this for the simple fact that it's a slap in the face to women.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Especially it was done on Women's Month, and I think that this decision was being too woke.
Charlie just sent me a picture of my hand.
Yes. Phenomenal woman. Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if we can put it in front of the. Can we put this in front of the
You can't be doing that like that, phenomenal. We get the voiceover. Yeah. Yeah, you like that. You like that leg right there? Yeah. That's like chicken now.
Oh my god!
You guys! I hate you guys.
I find the clip. I was dead. She said it should be mandatory.
Phenomenal.
This is why.
Oh man, yes. Yeah. So I think it's just a slap in the face for women in general. I think that we gone too woke, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, why?
I don't even think it's about any type of wokeness. I'm gonna go straight to misogyny. I think the way, because the way this world works is no matter what strides women have made to be equal, the United States of America will still value a man over a woman.
Ooh, I didn't look at it that way.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
To the point where a transgender female who was born a male, by the way, who biologically, the biological make is a male right down to their bone. Okay. If somebody were to break a bone off of Rachel Levine, they do DNA checks on it, it is biologically a man. That's something that you can't change. This world is so ridiculous and so misogynistic that they will go ahead and give a biological man an honorary mention in front of the federal government. This is the highest seat, the president, the highest seat in our country. Okay. You're going to go ahead and give a man. You know how many women have fought how many women have gone through shit?
Yeah.
Okay, that deserve that before. I'm sorry, and I have nothing against trans. I have nothing against the trans community whatsoever. Y'all do you. But I will say this: get trans person of the year.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and try to go ahead and you're gonna discredit. They don't even think that this is a slap in the face.
I do.
They don't even think. There's a lot of people who don't think. There's a lot of women out there who don't think that this is a slap in the face.
Because, they don't see it.
You know what I mean? But I'm going to tell you right now, I guarantee I've had periods heavier that I've had to persevere through than Rachel Levine.
Damn.
In her life as a woman,
well,
okay?
You never had a sprained ankle.
Come on. Yes, I have. I've had two, actually. Okay?
I'm going to send a clip to the group. There was another one with a drag queen that was saying, I don't understand why people want us to come read in libraries.
Right.
Like, I was like, yeah.
I saw that. I saw that clip too.
Yeah.
You know who I respect? What's his name? I think it's Jeffree Star.
She was like, why do y'all
Jeffree Star is like a makeup artist. He's a man, makeup artist. And he's like, I don't understand this whole
He's like, why do you want
thing
us
of
so
why
bad?
do you want, like,
Right.
I'm a man. Like, there's no, yeah, I dress however I want to dress, but I'm, at the end of the day, I'm a man. Like, there's no, I don't get this.
Right. And then that's what I love when you hear people from the community that are like, this is too much for even me.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy, but I just don't even get it. And low key, that could be Biden's sister if you look at them closely. So not only is it's white male privilege that allows them to go ahead and do this. There's that other aspect of this that I want people to take heed of. This is literally white male privilege at the peak.
I'm gonna look at it further. That I think just an example where we as a country,
Ingress took a man to do a woman's job. See boys up.
We messed up. We were talking about this earlier. We messed up and not voting in Hillary. I think this is an example of that. I think that we voted for the lesser of two evils. I'm not saying Biden is evil. I'm not saying Biden is totally bad, but I think that Hillary would have been much more better for this position.
I can't confidently say that.
I'll say that if it had between Biden and Hillary, I'm picking Hillary. That's how. Like I said, I was team Buttigieg, but
yeah, I like Buttigieg.
Buttigieg was good, but if you had to go with the big wigs, which was Biden and Hillary, I would have done Hillary. But
I'm just over politics.
Yeah,
that part too.
I'm burned out.
I'm totally burnt out because at the end of the day, they're all on the same playing fields. Period. And there's no. And so my thing is that, I wonder if no one went to the ballot, what would happen?
Right. We'd be fine.
I don't know.
We'd be better off.
I don't know. I don't know. These are things, and I'm somebody who's been involved in politics since I was 18. So that's many moons ago. But I don't know. I'm not somebody who openly wants to say I voted for someone because I think your vote is your personal. It's a bit personal.
I think we gotta have discussions about what you want, because why people vote, because just to get different perspectives. A lot of people are just very not educated on things, including myself.
I wholeheartedly disagree with an uneducated vote. I don't care. Yeah. I don't care who you vote for. So long as you've done your you've done your research on who you vote for.
Yeah,
I don't really care.
You should put it out there when you vote for and why, just for the education purpose of it. That's it. Because you may know more than the next person, and the next person may know more than you. And,
you know what? No, and then maybe it's me because of the things that I've been through. I don't want to take on that. I don't want to take on that responsibility of educating anybody.
Can I go back to the royal family?
I don't even know.
I don't even know that.
What you mean?
Not the royal family.
No, definitely not the royal family. Because Chris Rock talked about that too.
We're at a loss.
Chris Rock went in on that.
Yeah. And I have to agree with him. Yeah. Girl, what did you think? What did you think was going to happen?
About what's her name?
Yeah, Meghan Markle.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think she was thinking about the family until she got into it.
Meghan Markle probably forgot she was black for about a decade. And
Said she did. Said she did. she said that she had gotten away with a lot of things. She was
Of
never
course.
treated like
Yeah,
a black person
I didn't
until
think
she
she was
went
black
there.
either until
She's
it was
biracial, and of
yeah.
course, that sometimes when
When
you
I
grow up
first-
like
but
that,
she
you get
was-
a pass.
Yeah, because how often did you see her wear her natural hair? You didn't.
True. But I saw her, like, I used to love that show, Suits. I used
Me
to watch
too.
it.
I like Suits is a good show.
Yeah,
Me too.
those suits and ways
I got
the
it
dress
late.
was vibe, man. I was like, I like this. I like started watching it because it was like how they dress.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I started really getting to the
plot
dramatize
was
of
good.
it. Yeah. So when I looked at her, I wasn't even thinking black when she was on that show. Then when she said, "Oh, she's half black," I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Royal family knew when that mother came.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know who else I feel low key was like selectively black when she wanted to be?
Don't talk about my girl.
Who?
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about homegirl that was in that show where she was in the White House and she was his mistress. What's her name? She got a movie coming out where her father comes out of jail.
Kerry Washington.
Kerry Washington.
Oh.
Because I'm gonna tell you what, she did Save the Last Dance,
and
then that was all you saw from her.
Let me tell you something.
And go ahead. Go ahead.
When I was watching her on the President show,
I forget what it was.
Show.
Yeah, it is a really good
It's
show.
a
I was
really
on
good
it
show.
for it was.
It took me a couple seasons to say that's the sister from Save the Last.
Yeah, that's the sister from Save the Last Dance.
Right.
Exactly.
That had the baby.
Exactly. And then she stood surprisingly quiet during a lot of racial turmoil that was going on. And then it was like, I have a big problem with people who want to jump in on social issues when it's convenient for them. For me, I feel like you should be cognizant of what you choose to get involved in and the groups that you choose to think. But when it comes down to fundamental rights and values, you better hop on that right away because your integrity is on the line at that point. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's like Chrisette Michele. I'll tell you what, she had me, her first 2 albums she came out with, I'll fuck with her. Then when she wanted to go ahead and do the inaugural and perform at Trump's inaugural, when all other minority musicians, the black and brown musicians were like, fuck this shit. We're not, they couldn't get anybody. Bad optics, yeah. They couldn't get anybody. Chrisette Michele.
She was hurting. She needed that check.
She needed that check. But at what expense? Shut up. At what expense? Then she tried. The problem I have with her is that instead of just saying I needed that check,
right? That's what
she said. But I wore a Basquiat skirt, girl.
Just say the check was good.
Just say the check was good because I think people would have respected her more. Now she's like blackballed in a lot of the industry, and every time her song comes on,
because Trump called me, I do have a.
I gotta change the. I change the station.
Don't be mad if y'all see me singing.
Scandal. That's the name of the show. Scandal. Thank you, Inga.
Show.
Yeah.
Thank you, Inga.
That was a great show.
Yeah.
It was a great show.
It was a good show. Fuck around. It might have been me too. I might have been the mistress too. I would have been Latina mistress in the White House. Obama. Get me. If I ever made it in his campaign that far up, I'm sorry, Michelle. I'm saying it right now. That's fucked up. I would have definitely tried to have a
that'd be a whole different station.
It'd be a whole nother Latino 100.3 Margarita in the White House. You'll see everybody in Puerto Rico. Like I was saying, yo soy boricua, pa que tú lo sepas. And a picture of me to be all happy. They're so wrecked. I'm the mistress.
Saludo!
I love my people. But you already know. You already know.
All right, we're gonna take one more music break. We're gonna come back with the final thoughts of the Clutch Attack quote of the week and listen to the Wind Down podcast of WNB1 Radio. This is from the new album, Music Soul Child and Hit Boy. It's called Between Love and War. We'll be right back after this.
Not Tamar's Love and
I just be trying to keep the peace.
It's amazing.
Yes. That was Music Soul Child and Hit Boy, Between Love and War. I am your host, B. Cotter, here with Big Haywood,
Yo.
MG the producer. You're listening to the Wind Down Podcast on WNB1 Radio. Great show, guys. Another great show, another week for the WNB1 Radio
We dug a little deep
Wind Down
today.
Podcast.
Right. Yeah,
We dug a little deep today.
Yeah, we did.
We kept,
definitely
we kept our emotions in check. Me and Berto went at it last week. If anybody was listening,
I heard
but you
about
know,
did.
we get it together. We digress.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
We digress.
We're good. So we're gonna end it with what, like we always do, with a collective chat quote of the week. Go follow the collective chat on Instagram. This is from Kendall Smiley. Connection is why we are here. We are hardwired to connect with others. It is what gives purpose and a meaning to our lives. And without it, there is suffering. So it's interesting that I like that quote, because I feel like through social media we're not as connected to each other.
Right.
We don't
Right.
we don't talk to each other.
Yeah.
And we're losing the skill of communication. You know what I'm saying? And I think we need to get that back.
Yeah, get you a podcast.
Yeah, get you a
Right.
podcast.
Hit up WNB1 Radio to see how we can help you get your podcast going.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, you can launch a
Because we do
podcast.
offer that
Mhm.
services.
We
and,
do offer that services. You can launch your podcast from our radio station. So get a hold of us. Find out how.
Yes, we're building, and we can help if you want to be in a guest on the Wind Down Podcast. If you're able to handle the smoke, you know.
Be
shy.
prepared though.
You can't be shy.
Yeah, you gotta be. We will interview you, so be prepared. You know.
Yeah. So I want to thank all our listeners. I want to thank all our watchers on Facebook Live. Again, on Facebook Live, if you haven't downloaded the WNB1 Radio app, please do so. So you can listen to music and the conversations that we have, because Facebook just allows us to let you hear the conversation, not the music. I want to thank our sponsor, Manolani Sobre,
Bringing the spa experience into you.
Yes, I want to thank her for all her support. And we'll be back next week for another show on the Wind Down Podcast Show on WNB1 Radio.
We have a special guest too next week.
Oh, who do we
it
have?
is Leonard Jones from Shock Troop Fitness. They're based in Rhode Island, but he does do a boot camp here in New Bedford. I believe it's at the Andre McCoy Center.
Okay.
Where he does it. So we're excited to have Leonard on next week, so he can tell us a little bit about what he does, how he started his business, what his passion is, and things like that. So we're excited for that.
Yes. So we'll be here next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You listen to the Wind Down Podcast on WNB1 Radio. I'm going to end it with a little Prince of the Revolution. I would die for you. Thanks for listening.